right, we've got an interesting update for the Los Angeles Rams. This is a Rams team, of course, trying to build off of a momentum from 2023 heading into 2024 with a chance to make another deep playoff run. And there's one position battle that has kind of come out of nowhere involving the addition of a young rookie who's really starting to make a name for himself. And we've had a few reports this offseason going through the impact of Blake Corum on this Rams team. He started off strong. He continues to build momentum. And now we're really starting to see the fact he is really pushing Kiron Williams. Blake Corum may be the starter or at least force Kiron Williams to fight for his job. Let's walk through the historical or the history of events here, and then we'll break down what it means on the other side. So first up, let's pull up the report. This is Blake Corum earlier on this offseason talking about how he was being used with the Rams so far. He said, I think they're going to use me a little differently than Michigan did. I was more of a bell cow back. I was running the ball 20 plus times a game. I didn't really catch the ball much, but you see how they use Kiron, who is a great running back. I think they're going to use me as a real 3-down running back, a guy that can catch, pass pro, and run the ball. They want a guy that can do it all, and I can do that for them, right? So this is Corum saying, hey, Rams coaches want me to be a guy who can do it all, including blocking and catching the football on top of running. Now let's go to our next report. This is Sean McVay a little while later talking about Blake Corum. He said, on the offensive side, I've been pleased with a lot of guys, but Blake Corum has really stood out. Mature beyond his years. I love that. I love the way that he handles himself. I love even more how when he's there, when there's been a couple of things that didn't go the way we wanted, how he responded the next play, the mental toughness that you see from him. All right, Miles, you and I kind of talked offline a few weeks ago about this report, and you told me, said, hey, it looks like Blake Corum is really pushing Kiron Williams. I said, no, not going to happen. It doesn't seem like enough. But when you go to this final report here, this is Kiron Williams saying this. I think this is really insightful. He said, according to NBC Sports, I'm super excited that we went to go draft Blake Corum, somebody who can run the ball very well. Notice that, right? Corum was talking about how the Rams coaches wanted him to pass protect and catch the ball on top of running the ball, not just run the ball. And then Williams goes on to say, hopefully it allows me to get to the slot or allows me to just run routes out of the backfield so that I'm able to really showcase my skills that I have for this game. This came out just recently, just a day ago, Kiron Williams' comments. What does this mean? It means that through minicamp, through OTAs, we saw early on Blake Corum saying, hey, the Rams coaches, they want me to do a lot of different things, including catching the football. We heard later Sean McVay say how impressed he was with Blake Corum, especially the Rams throwing so much at him, the young player, so early. And now we hear Kiron Williams come out saying, hey, I really kind of glad they drafted Blake Corum. He's only there to really run the ball. He's not there to take my job as a receiver, even though the other two reports aren't the obvious. What does this mean? It means Blake Corum is pushing Kiron Williams to the point where Kiron Williams feels like he has to go publicly to defend himself, feels like he's a little unsure. There's a true position battle going on here. And I have to go back to what you said a few weeks ago, Mize. There's a really solid chance Blake Corum leads this running back position battle as we get headed closer to the regular season. Either way, it's a win for the Rams. Either Corum is better or it pushes Williams to get better. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, Mize. But first, Rams fans, in the comment section below, we're talking a little bit of a position battle here. Give us your favorite training camp position battle in Rams history. There's been a few interesting ones over the years, but only pick one. Give us your favorite Rams position battle in team history. Put it in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure you check out the description box below for links to all of our favorite football books, some great summer reading to become the smartest guy in the comments section. Got a lot of different books we like to recommend. Make sure you check them out. But Miles, let's go over to you now. What are your thoughts on this latest development involving Blake Corum and the Los Angeles Rams?
I think it's interesting, and when you put all three stories together, my ideas were more speculation of just things we've heard around. But now you tie all these stories together, and you kind of look at it and say, hey, something's going on. And you wonder, was there past, like, what was the reasoning for getting Blake Corum? And there's also stories that have popped up around the internet, talking to Les Snead and Les Snead's thoughts on the draft and why they drafted Blake Corum. I'll read this quote to you. He says, it's a tough league. The 17-game season plus playoffs, it might go to 18 games one day. But we always felt like we need to have as many quality runners as possible. We don't want to totally run down Kiron. There goes some injury concerns. They know Kiron Williams isn't as durable as a back as they would like him to be. Snead said, and he says, and we want to have 1, 2, even 3 guys that can contribute, keep everyone fresh, and let us go out and try to impose our will. Now, I think at least at first, Blake Corum might start out being the go-to guy on, 100% run first downs. I think Kiron Williams will be out there in more, kind of, whether it's some sort of option, there's an option route for the running back, passing down situations. And I think at first that's how it's going to be. But I think the more opportunities Blake Corum gets, I think he's going to work himself into that bell cow back type of player that he talks about. And I think eventually by the end of the season, this is a bold take because I know a lot of people really like Kiron Williams. I think Kiron Williams is going to be more of a third down type back, pass catching type of back. And Blake Corum is going to be the hard charger for this Rams team. I think it's going to be really good here, but I think it's a great problem to have if you're the Rams. You got two great backs, two very dynamic, playmaker type players. So it's kind of a win-win situation no matter how it turns out. But I truly believe Blake Corum is going to surprise a lot of people.
I think he already has based on his performance so far this offseason. I agree with you 100%. It is definitely an iron sharpens iron deal. And I think this is probably the best thing to happen to Kiron Williams, right? After the way he finished last season, he was riding the hype train. Hey, future star, next great Rams running back, so on and so forth. Now he goes through an offseason where all his backup has done is just impress everybody, right? And I think Kiron Williams, I think he's trying to come off a little defensive here, right? I think he's a little insecure of himself because he's in those meeting rooms, he's on the practice field, he's seeing the praise that Corum is getting, he's seeing the good things that Corum is doing. And look, two things are going to happen. This will either push Kiron Williams, the competitor, to get better, which obviously benefits the Rams, or Blake Corum, being better than Williams in some aspects, may take over some reps, which is also good for the Rams. This is what smart drafting and quality player management development does for you, right? This is what the Rams do so well. It allows the fact that no matter what happens in any position battle, any situation, the Rams as a team will be better because of it. Again, another great selection, another solid strategy by Sean McVay, Les Snead, and the entire Rams organization.